and welcome to Club 7, episode 4 of The Pilgrimage on FM24. I'm Jamie. Coming up on today's episode, I've got the January transfer window roundup and then 2 games for you, at home to Bournemouth and away to Chelsea in the Premier League. So let's get straight into it, and the transfer roundup is coming up in just a moment. Okay, here is the January transfer business that we did then, and as you can see, 2 arrivals, 7 departures, although that is a slight asterisk in that Philip Bogdan has joined us for 6.25 million from Hajduk Split, but as you can see, he was immediately loaned back to them for the rest of the season, and before that, we signed Evan Ferguson from Brighton for 111 million, rising to a potential 126 million. So let's have a look at how Evan Ferguson is getting on at the moment. He's 27 now, has 80 caps for Ireland, 53 goals, and has made a decent start with us actually. Over the course of the season, he's got 18 games, 18 starts and 3 sub-appearances and 8 goals. For us, it is a slightly less prolific start. 5 games, 1 goal in the league. But as you can see, only 2 of them were starts. But in the Cup, he's played 3 games for us and got 5 goals. So he's certainly beginning to find the back of the net. And Philip Bogdan, the youngster, is also a striker, and he has been loaned back to his original club, Hajduk. And as you can see, he's played since going back to them on loan. He's played 1 game and scored 1 goal, and he's coming off 16 games and 8 goals before the transfer, so he looks a very promising prospect indeed. He's 19 years old, 2.5 stars of current ability and 3.5 stars of potential, so he is absolutely going to be the long-term Alexander Isak replacement. Isak's 32 now, and while still 3.5 stars at the minute, he is going to need replacing before too much longer. So that is the transfer roundup done, and I'll be back in a moment with the first match of today's episode. Okay, here is the team I've selected for the first match against Bournemouth. And it is Simon in goal. Back 4 is Carlos Roberto, Botman, Satalo and Svoboda. Bruno Guimaraes behind De Jong and Tonali in midfield. Breibels and Echeverry on the wings. And Ferguson up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, well, my assistant manager recommended it's time to put an end to this poor run of form, go out there and make it count, and I've agreed with him. So let's get into the tunnel and do our pre-match tunnel interview. Do I hope my team can produce today? No, I hope they have an absolutely miserable time and get hammered. Of course I want them to play well, and that's always true. What are my thoughts on the recent run of fixtures? They seem to have been quite challenging. It's been hard, but that's football. There's apparently little unity among the Newcastle players, and this seems to be reflected in the team's run of form. Surely the lack of harmony off the pitch is having an effect on it. That does make it difficult, so I'll agree. And let's get out there and see if we can turn this around. So as always, first 10 minutes we'll just see how things go. And at the moment we are totally concentrating on closing that 6-point gap to Nottingham Forest. We're not even worrying about the 11-point gap to 7th place Tottenham. We just need to get some wins on the board and get back inside that top half. Bournemouth are currently in a Champions League position, so a draw in isolation isn't a bad result in this game, but that said, we cannot afford to drop points at home. And so far, Bournemouth yet to have a shot, and we've had 3 on target from 7 already. Bournemouth have now had their first shot and did hit the target with it, but it wasn't highlight worthy. And the entirety of the first half has gone by with no highlights at all. So let's fire up the boys. Right. What can I say? We can win this. Keep working hard. It will come. And I'm going to need to give them some help from the bench. So we can do that by taking off Echeverri and bringing on Jamario. And I'm going to bring Evan Ferguson off and Ansu Fati on and give him a go up front. So let's get out for the second half and see if that makes the decisive difference. So let's encourage rather than demand more. And it's largely gone down okay, that. And Svoboda wins his header, finds Tonali, plays it back to Carlos Roberto, who charges forward down the left, crosses it in but gives it away to Aarons. Redhead gives it away to Satalo, so Tonali can break forward for us again. Jamario's shot hits the bar and Brables clips the top of the crossbar with the help of the keeper. So we've got a corner. Svoboda with it, right-footed in swinger, headed up rather than away. Roberto heads away, but the highlight comes to an end, and we're gonna need to do something else. Clearly we need more. Tonali is shattered, so we'll bring on Mulan, and De Jong is absolutely wrecked, so we'll bring on Adam Cockbill. And I'm also going to take Bruno off and bring on Mariano Gomez. And as I'm doing that, we've taken the lead. It is Newcastle United 1, Bournemouth 0. And we've got about 15 minutes to hold on to a 1-0 win. And the gap to Nottingham Forest is down to 4 points. So it's back to game on. Svoboda with the corner. And it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. And Carlos Roberto plants a header past the keeper. Makes it Newcastle United 2, Bournemouth 0. And with 87 minutes gone, that should wrap up the win. Into 5 minutes of stoppage time, and hopefully we can just see this out nice and comfortably. And there it is, full time, Newcastle United 2, Bournemouth 0. I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Okay, time now for the second match of today's episode, and a Premier League away game against Chelsea. Team for this one: Simon in goal, back four is Brables, Botman, Satalo and Svoboda, Bruno Guimaraes behind De Jong and Tonali in midfield, Fati on the left wing, Echeverri on the right, Evan Ferguson up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, my assistant wants them to pick up where they left off last time out. So I'm going to agree with them, and I'm going to do it with no gesture this time. And let's get out into the tunnel How do I reflect on the club's very successful journey since I took over? We're going in the right direction. So I'm going to say we've done well. We can go even further. We're not done yet. Why has it been so hard to find form away from home? We're still working on it. I'm going to say if I knew, we wouldn't be having this conversation. As much as it might be a cliche, the first goal all important. I'm hopeful of a strong start and a positive approach, of course. So let's get into the match and see if we can manage to make it back-to-back wins on today's episode. Botman then plays it to the left for Brables, forward to Fatty, who plays it into Ferguson, who's come very deep, plays it back to Sotalo. Svoboda was on his heels and didn't react to that pass at all. And thankfully, Dennis Simon makes the save, and it is a Chelsea corner. And it's James with the right-footed outswinging corner into the 6-yard box. Simon comes right to the extreme edge of it and gathers. Now it's done at the other end. Borza to Espina, and we've won it back. Bruno into Ferguson, round the corner for Fatty, and he shoots wide. Big chance not taken. And I'm going to encourage, because we are away, and I don't want to dent the confidence of the lads. We need to get another goal and manage to close the gap further on the qualification places if we can. Reece James shoots, and Dennis Simon with the save. So keeping an eye on the ratings of the players. Nobody at the moment is obviously having a poor game, so I'll encourage again. We've lost the ball. Espino to Doué, back to Fofana, Borza to Espino, plays it out to the left hand side for Paez. Doué back to Badiashile, all the way back to Lunin in goal, and he plays it to Badiashile on the left hand side. Borza forward to Paez, ball over the top, Konate's in behind, and Karim Konate gives Chelsea the lead. That is not what we needed. So we're going to demand more at this stage. And Chelsea thoroughly deserve their lead. We'll demand more as Botman plays it into midfield, finds Ferguson, who's dropped deep again, and gets to the byline, crosses for Echeverry. Keeper makes the save, and Paez brings it away. And it's Borza to Espino, Borza again to Badiashile, back to Fofana. And it's all the way back to Lunin in goal. Plays a short one to James. Espino to Badiashile. His ball is cut out by Brables. Ansu Fati comes forward. Plays it back to De Jong, who gives the ball away. Espino to Enzo. Into Kauru. And Sotalo passes it back to Simon, who clears. And we give the ball away again. Paez into the area. Paez shoots, but it's wide. And we're going to get away with that one. As it's crossed in, headed up in the air. And Lunin gathers at the second attempt. And it's going to be 1-0 to Chelsea at half-time. So plenty of work to do. So let's go into the dressing room. We need to give them some words of encouragement. I'm going to say, show me something else. and let's make some changes. So I'm going to take off the anxious Sven Botman and bring on Carlos Roberto. I'm not going to bring Roach on, but I am going to take Evan Ferguson off up front. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to take Ansu Fati off and bring on Alexander Isak, and then I'll swap him. In fact, I'll leave Isak on the left. Give him a go there this time. So let's get out for the second half and see if we can rescue something. So let's fire up and see how that goes down. Largely well. Echeverry isn't having a brilliant game, and neither is Guimaraes. So I might take both of them off. Gertruida can come on at the base of midfield. And on the right hand side, I'll bring on Jamario. And that's 4 subs, I think. As Kabiru gives it away. De Jong to Brabels. Isak on the left. Cuts inside. Plays it to the right hand side for Svoboda. Back to Satalo. Svoboda goes down the right. He's got to do it himself though. He's got no support. And his cross is headed wide by Isak. And I think Tonali is going to be my 5th and final sub. And I'm going to bring on Adam Cockbill. So 20 minutes left. Demand more this time. We absolutely cannot lose this game. Even though Chelsea are in the European spots, we have to get something. It's Borza for Chelsea. To Espino, into Doué. His shot is wide. And we're going to need to go attacking now. James plays it to Fofana. Back to Lunin. Badiashile finds Borza, who finds Paez. Back to Badiashile. Into Espino, who finds Paez. Back to Badiashile again. Into Espino. Badiashile to Fofana. Played all the way back to Lunin in goal. And his long ball forward finds Omega, who finds Jackson. And Nicholas Jackson doesn't miss those. And makes it Chelsea 2, Newcastle United 0. And that wraps the game up for Chelsea. So we'll demand more. Won't make any difference at this stage. But there we go. It is going to be a 2-0 defeat, and there it is confirmed officially. So I'll be back in a moment with the Premier League table and to tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, here is the Premier League table then, and as you can see we are in 12th position with 8 wins, 8 draws, 11 defeats and 32 points. So we're now 9 adrift of the 7th placed, and we are 5 adrift of Nottingham Forest in 10th. So let's have a look now at when we're going to come back, and I'm only going to play one game off camera, the home game against Manchester City, and on the next episode I'll bring you the Carabao Cup final against Sunderland to see if we can pick up our first major trophy of the series. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.